Stand by for audio. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Live the Fuel show. So this evening, as I'm recording this show, I'm bringing on, yet another new guest co-host. This gentleman, he's got a heck of a bio, and I'm going to let him chime in here in a little bit and give you a little more passion behind this bio, but I'm going to go by the book here for a second. Recently, he's helped build 5, 7-figure funnels. Okay, so this guy, and again, for refresher for some of these listeners, a funnel, sales funnel, marketing, business growth. I just want to fast forward that for you. But they did this by ethically injecting principles of persuasion into their funnels, okay? When he started online marketing, he was penniless, but within 12 months rose to become a top 1% earner and in a $186 billion industry. Listen, let's cut right to the chase. This guy used to be homeless, living in his birthplace of San Francisco. So we're digging deep here. It's a powerful story. After nearly losing his life in the hospital as a consequence of partying and self-destructive behavior, he realized it's time for a big change. He then quit smoking, lost 50 pounds, renouncing his title as a fast food junkie king of the East. I like that. He considers himself extremely blessed to have turned his life around and is now able to live a clean and a more abundant life. He's also co-founded an online mattress site where one of its core focuses is to eliminate homelessness in San Francisco, and they're on track to, I think, hit about 8 million. So listen, I'm going to help this gentleman finish off his bio with a little more passion. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Akbar Sheikh.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's always funny. It's always weird hearing someone talk about you, but I appreciate it.
Well, and for our listeners, you're freeing up some time in. It almost sounds like remote Australia.
I am in Sydney. I've been here for a little while. I don't know. The Wi-Fi is not that great. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest with you. I think San Francisco is prettier. If you're in America, I don't think it's worth the long trip, to be honest. I think San Francisco is much prettier and better. But anyway, no disrespect to all my Australian.
Well, I'm going to do what I can here to actually make sure that your video, it comes first, especially for what we push to YouTube. So I'm actually going to switch my camera off just in case that helps flip a little more bandwidth, because it's not about me, it's about you. And actually, before you and I started recording today, you kind of hinted at the same exact theme here, right? It's not about us, right? It's about the other entrepreneurs, so to speak, and the other solopreneurs out there that are trying to make the hustle and make it win. So I wanted to kind of lead into that for you and see what else you had to say on that subject.
Yeah, man. I'm really glad you said that, because why we do what we do, right? And it took a second to kind of figure this out. And when it hit us hard, right? We do what we do. We help entrepreneurs generate more revenue. Why? Because after interviewing a ton of entrepreneurs, people all the way from newbies to people who've generated over $500 million, it is of my conclusion that entrepreneurs are inherently good people who want to make the world a better place. So we have to make more revenue so that they can take a portion of that and give it to their families, communities, and favorite charities. Hence, with that ripple effect, we're doing our part, to make this world a better place.
Well, and I love that, because let's tag it right back to that whole mattress company thing. Did you create that because you already understood that industry, but then you realized that you wanted to make a difference because obviously where you were at in your life at that time? I mean, beforehand, obviously. Is that where the whole online piece came in? You finally realized, hey, man, this is something passionate to me. I got to figure this out online. Where did that whole come from? I mean, obviously, you said am I right? You're on track to hit like an $8 million type business off of that?
Yeah, man. We're on track this year to do over 8 million. It's funny, it's funny, we were actually looking to open retail stores, right? For mattress retail stores, right?
Really?
And I remember it was me. Yeah, it was me, my wife, and my brother, right? And so rewind a little bit. My family business is furniture stores. The most profitable segment in that was mattresses. They're high margin, low churn rate, kind of hard to steal a mattress. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. So we're like, hey, dude, let's just take that segment and make like a retail, let's make like a franchise out of it, right? So we're sitting there playing, and we're like, dude, you know what, dude? This is a lot of headache and a lot of cost. And I actually hate retail. So I was like, you know what we need to do? We need to sell these things online, man. And it's just like that thought like sparked this idea, and we just kind of ran with it. And, an entrepreneur jumps out of the airplane and builds the parachute on the way down.
Yep.
That's kind of built. Honestly, we built a model of simplicity, which is what I feel is one of the core reasons for our success.
Well, when you're talking about simplicity now, are we? Do you ever reference the classic, KISS acronym? It's people either go with, "Hey, man, you got to keep it super simple," or you keep it simple, stupid. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever brought that into some of your conversations?
I know my mom always tells me that. She always tells me that, and I think my dad as well. Yeah, my dad. Honestly, here's the thing about business, in my opinion. Actually, it's interesting you say that as I'm thinking. I'm actually sitting across from Matt. He's my executive content guy. He is also super into health. He's always YouTubing like the latest. He drinks like these crack coffees and with the grass-fed butter and the
that's me bulletproof coffee.
Talking all this nonsense. Here's why I say nonsense. I'll tell you what, and I mean no disrespect to anyone. Here's my thing. When I talk about simplicity, right? Everybody's looking for that golden nugget. Everyone's looking for that shortcut, that secret, that magic pill, right? What I found, because I come from nothing. I mean, I used to be homeless. I had no success in business. I had no success in health. I was extremely overweight. I had no success in relationship. I was married to the devil. I had no success really. I had no spirituality. I had no success in any aspect of my life. The only thing I was probably successful in is I was kind of funny and I made people laugh. For all intents and purposes, I shouldn't have even said that, but for all intents and purposes, I had no success in any orb in my life. I believe you're composed of these different orbs, right?
Sure.
What I found is when I started getting success in all these orbs and I lost 50 pounds, got healthy, when I left all my toxic relationships and got into healthy relationships, when I became spiritual, found my why, when I started actually making money online, I found that simplicity works. Now, why am I picking on, cocaine, coffee, and all this stuff? Is because people have all these fad diets, the keto diet, the South Beach diet, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
How I lost weight, pure simplicity. What did I do? I drank ample amount of water, and I had a clean, healthy diet. I didn't eat fast food. I didn't have Coca-Cola and all these chemicals. I ate clean food. I didn't count my carbs. I didn't count my fat. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night to have 12 almonds. None of this. All these people did all this, complicating life, really. That I'm just, and again, no disrespect to anybody, right? I mean, I never mean to offend anybody, but the thing is, I'm just telling you what worked for me, and that is just pure simplicity with my diet. Then in business, now you pulled up my funnel right there for a second. Yeah. My funnel, which is extraordinarily profitable.
I'm going to go ahead and share it again.
Yeah, it's one of the ugliest funnels you'll ever see in your life. I mean, look at this picture here. Really, it's just this page. You click on that, you opt in. It actually has a totally unnecessary page. After you click this, there really should be an opt-in right here. But when you click that, it takes you to another opt-in.
Yeah, but some people don't like the opt-ins right up in your face, right? So they do. Yeah, I like your style here. So
yeah. So you opt in. Once you opt in, it takes you directly to a webinar. Mm-hmm. That's it. There's no fancy, people go nuts. They're like, okay, if somebody watched 5 minutes of the webinar, we got to send them this email. If somebody watched 15 minutes of the webinar, drinking 3 sips of coffee, we need to send them this email. Like all these complex kind of algorithms and this. Listen, to each their own and everything. I don't do any of that, man.
Are you? I have to ask, man. So, are you not a fan of the ClickFunnels thing? That's all viral right now. Everybody's all about ClickFunnels and Brunson's ClickFunnels. So,
oh no, I love ClickFunnels and I love Russell.
But you'd like to design yours in a more lean and mean way, I guess, is what I'm hearing.
Listen, I'm in Russell Brunson's inner circle. I love Russell Brunson. ClickFunnels is what made me, is what launched my career, really. ClickFunnels is nothing but a tool.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's
actually real good point, because we're going to have listeners on this show, right? Like maybe they have no clue what we're talking about. We have talked about ClickFunnels, and I recently just recorded another episode that'll probably air the week before yours with another gentleman using ClickFunnels. So we were talking about some of the successes of it. But let's be real, some people don't have no clue what the heck a funnel or a ClickFunnels is. So like, how would you simplify that?
Well, let me just tell you what a funnel is. A funnel is just a website on crack, really, is all it is. It's really just an optimized website that's really geared, it's really optimized just to make more sales. So there's different steps to it. You know, you have an opt-in so you can actually collect emails with people so you can actually communicate with them. When people buy something, you have the opportunity to upsell them something else. So it's just an opportunity to sell more. Again, if you really want to simplify it, I can tell you all the tech about it and all like the upsells and downsells and cross sells and emails and this and that.
Well, my thing is, I tell people it just adds logic, right, to a sales process. It guides the customer on the right path, so to speak, I guess.
You get to put the customer down the journey you want them to go through.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So again, it's a tool. Now you can make you can make super simple ugly funnels, or you can make super complex pretty funnels. I mean, that's up to you. You know, I find, and by the way, in my research finds as well, that simple ugly converts the best.
Okay. So Hans, let me ask you then. So, because I'm going to geek out on this as a marketer, I have not enabled any ClickFunnels on my stuff yet, but right. But I was just out at Thrive Make Money Matter this year in Vegas, the week of the unfortunate shootings. And obviously, you know, big people were there like Grant Cardone and we've had, you know, people talk about ClickFunnels on the stage and everything else. And I've heard nothing but success. So a lot of people feel that ClickFunnels is really just for people selling products like an online store and stuff. And I'm like, no. I mean, this is really, if you're moving anything, heck, maybe you're giving away a free book. Well, you could still build a ClickFunnel, right? Because it could lead to other things like, you know, your in-depth master classes or courses or trainings and things like that.
I mean, ClickFunnels, I mean, there's really kind of no limitation. I mean, here's a limitation of ClickFunnels, right? You can pretty much sell anything, right? Product or service. But if you have some sort of e-com store where you're selling like, you know, 100 different t-shirts or something, yeah, it's not really for that.
Okay.
It is really centric around one core focus. Like it's not a traditional store. If you have like 1,000 items or something, that's not really what it's for. It's really to focus on one core concept.
So like, per example is like, okay, I've had like literally, I've consulted 3 different people in the past month, which I never asked to do. But people like wanted to know how to launch a podcast. I was like, okay, I could literally build a landing page and record the training on this and end up selling a course and using ClickFunnels, for example.
Exactly. I mean, exactly what you just said is like quintessential perfection for ClickFunnels.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, would you say that ClickFunnels helped you build the success that you're now experiencing today with the online mattresses company?
ClickFunnels, again, is really a tool and it's really a tribe of like-minded people. You know what I mean? My passion, I'll be honest with you, is not in the mattress thing. Okay, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Yeah, let me be frank. Here's the thing. If I close my doors to now, 5 minutes from now, I shut my website down, it is going to make a 0.00000% impact in the world. It is meaningless because guess what? There's 50 other guys selling the exact same thing.
Okay.
There's no impact. Okay. With what I'm doing with helping entrepreneurs, it's very satisfying. You know, I don't do this for the money because like I used to be homeless. I'm not that materialistic. We do it because we're actually really making an impact in the world where we're helping people generate more income and they're actually, again, helping their families, communities, and favorite charities. We have people who get inspired. They reach out to us daily. They're getting inspired. We've helped people come up to us and say, hey, we've actually gone sober because of you.
Okay.
You know, people say, oh, you've helped us lose weight. Oh, you've helped us rekindle relationships. Oh, you've helped us get motivation to start this business. The other day, a guy said, hey, I had my first $10,000 day because of you. You know, we're making we're making change, positive change with mattresses, what am I doing? I'm giving you a good night's sleep. Well, that's great. Well,
Well, I mean, now to be fair though, you did mention that this is a for-purpose style business model, right? Aren't you guys doing something to impact the state of homelessness in San Francisco thanks to that business, right?
that's entirely true. That's entirely true. But you see, and that's why we have the business, right? But it's a byproduct of that, where you don't get to feel that daily. Because you see, here's the thing: we get to cut full disclosure, yes, we get to cut awesome checks and do a lot of charity work, yes, and it's awesome. That's why we have it.
Okay.
But you don't get, as entrepreneur, me anyway. Like for me, and I've shut down profitable ventures, but I need to feel satisfaction. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to feel that fulfillment.
I'm glad you're bringing this up, man. I'm actually, not many co-hosts have brought up this subject because I think it's touchy. And I wanted to pause on this because I know I personally have had the struggles over the years where you feel guilty, not chasing money, but like wanting to build success and building these income streams, because what you're just saying right now, let's be real, there's no way you could be an impacting philanthropist without money, right? Like you got to have money to help people with the money.
Right.
Sometimes.
True. Yeah, it's completely true. I mean, which is why I want to build, which is really truly why we are working around the clock, which we absolutely don't have to build $1 billion empire, is because we have I literally cried recently. There is a charity that I'm now like enthralled in. I mean, I just absolutely love it. You can actually give the gift of vision to a blind child. And let me explain this.
Wow.
In third world countries, there are many, many blind children, and they're blind because they cannot afford a very affordable and simple cataract surgery. Okay. Believe it or not, for under $100, you can pay for the surgery and give the gift of vision to a blind child. I mean, when I first heard that, like honestly, my whole life changed. And I actually have been working, I've been working harder since actually, because what's better than that, bro? Seriously, like better than that. Okay. Everyone's passionate about different things. I might tell people that and they might not care, and people might be super passionate about saving dogs and or whatever people are passionate about. It hit me hard when I heard that. I'm just like, dude, I want to give the gift of vision to many, 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 it's like, my goal,
it sounds pretty powerful, man.
Like 1 million children,
So how did you find that, by the way, that charity?
That's a great question, bro. That's a great question, because here's the thing. Like, I highly recommend everybody get involved in some sort of like mastermind or coaching program, or really just align yourself with someone who's doing better than you. And that's what I always try to do. So I get coaches who are doing better than me, or I join masterminds of highly successful people doing more successful than me, because they elevate you. I mean, as you know, that quintessential saying, right? Like you are the combination of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Right. And that doesn't necessarily have to be in real life. It could be over, the internet and phone and stuff. So yeah, I got it from a mastermind. Just a dude in one of the masterminds was just mentioning it to me. You know what I mean? And that's really the power of being around kind of like-minded people,
Hey, I agree with you, because, are you familiar, by the way, with the Thrive, Make Money Matter event that Cole Hatter founded?
Yeah, I heard of it. I don't know much about it. I think, no, I don't. What's his wife's name?
Sonia.
Yes. Yes. I've heard someone introduced me to Sonia.
It was their 3rd year this year, and I've only gone the last 2. I'll be back again this year. It's exactly what you and I are talking about, man. It's helping other entrepreneurs realize that it's okay to embrace finance and success, and because that's the only way you're going to help. You got to help each other level up, and obviously finding, there's lots of different people there that offer masterminds, right? You got like people like John Lee Dumas there, and people like the first year, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, he spoke at the first year. Like they've had some big lined up speakers, and in the end, the big picture is teaching people how to make money matter, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, man. I recently did my first ever like real speaking engagement. With actually, funny enough, with and Kevin Harrington was at that event, so I shared the stage with Kevin Harrington originally of Shark Tank, and I loved the experience so much because again, it was so satisfying. Like just people coming up to you and say, "Hey, man, that really had an impact on me." Like I'm going to change things when I get back home. Like I'm going to change these things in my life or in my business or whatever. And I fell in love with it. So then I think I told someone, I'm like, hey man, I want to do some more speaking. And he introduced me to Sonia, said that, hey man, I think you'd be great to speak at Thrive because we had like the missions aligned. So that's how I thought about it.
Well, I mean, you would definitely, it'd be nice to see them rock you into the 2018 lineup. So I will tell you, and even if you don't do it this year, like they'll probably get you in next year. Like he's growing a great brand. And I mean, it's not even his priority. And the good thing is, like this guy's got he literally started his own like home/school in Mexico, for poor children and making sure they have a place to go learn and be fed right. And I was like, dude, like he takes all of his inner circle and his mastermind people down there, every year around the holidays and everything else. It's like it's ingrained in his business now.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? And a lot of people might like, the entrepreneur journey is pretty well defined, right? I mean, it's funny, like a lot of people, I mean, you heard that I was homeless, right? Or a lot of people might not have been homeless, but you hear the story like, oh, I was completely broke, or I went through bankruptcy, or I went through divorce. And I mean, you hear a lot of these stories, right?
Right.
A lot of entrepreneurial journeys kind of start there. And, the beginning stage for a lot of people is all about like money. Like, I want to make some money. And then what ends up happening is like, when you start making some money, it was your top priority, right? And then once you kind of achieve that, it kind of becomes, not important to you at all. And then what ends up becoming most important to you is actually, giving back and making a difference in the world. So I mean, I just, letting people know that at different parts of the journey that, money becomes less and less irrelevant, and giving back actually kind of replaces that want. And it's actually far more fulfilling, I find.
So did you, now I'm going to do some screen sharing again, because I have your other site here. And now, have you ingrained this into this inner circle project? Do you actually discuss this with your online entrepreneurs, or I'm not sure if all your entrepreneurs are online, but obviously nowadays, everybody, quick lesson to our listeners, everybody needs to be online. I mean, you don't have to run your business online per se, although I recommend it, but online, man. So anyway, your inner circle, like, is this topics that you've decided to incorporate into your message in there as well?
By the way, can we pause for a second? Is that possible or no?
Yeah, hold on. I'll pause right now.
Oh, thanks. I just actually really have to use the restroom. Is that cool?
Yeah, cool, man. Rock on.
Thanks, man. I was waiting for I've been dying for like a few minutes, but I was waiting for a good time to interject. Thanks, man.
Yeah, so our listeners, and this is just on, I'm actually going to keep the video feed going so I can show you guys more of his site. So since we're still screen sharing anyway. So again, to our listeners, guys, you can check him out at akbarsheikh.com. And I'll go ahead and actually keep this going for the podcast as well. So our listeners, whether you're on video right now or you're in the audio podcast world, go to akbarsheikh.com. So that's akbarsheikh.com. So akbarsheikh.com. That's his primary site. And then there's a secondary site that I basically have gotten into, and basically that's his inner circle, right? So as I'm sharing here on the video feed for the YouTubers, I'll say this to the podcasters. He basically has a honor of helping 5 funnels hit 7 figures, like I hinted at earlier. So whether you're on the video feed or whether you're in the podcast world, check out both of his sites, right? Whether you're going to be looking at the inner circle opportunity to grow your business, or you just want to learn more about him and play around with his funnels, go to akbarsheikh.com and you can see what the heck a funnel is all about and learn his style and what he's doing and his consultation and how is he helping other entrepreneurs make it happen. So, and actually Akbar is back. Sorry, man. I decided, I took it off pause and decided to just plug you a little bit. So I was bored, figured I'd hang out and just do a little plugging.
Nice. Yeah. That's the problem when you drink. So like the benefits of hyperhydration or like true hydration are really awesome. Like you you actually have a natural high for a lot of the day, but the downfall is you really have to use the restroom quite often.
It's true. I was driving back from New York City. Oh, no, I was in upstate New York, then New York City today, and then back to Pennsylvania here because I live in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm only an hour north of Philly and an hour and a half west of New York City. So I got access to some major markets, which is great. So I was up doing some business meetings and I drive a lot. So I was like, all right, let's go hit it up. Even though I got all the tech, I can go remote like this, but I like to get out in the mix of it. Anyway, I was like, I'm actually detoxing today. So I've been fasting since I woke up this morning. So technically you fast while you sleep. And then, every quarter of the year I go through a big cellular detoxification. And last week I did 2 back-to-back fasting and detox days. So I'll do a total of 4 in a month, once a quarter. And I started doing this when I learned it back in 2010. But the biggest part of it is that you hydrate the crap out of yourself, right? Because that your body's not digesting food, right? You're giving those organs basically a vacation for 24, 48 hours max that I do. And then your body can now focus 100% on its natural cycle of detoxification. It's like, oh, great. I'm not being distracted by anything else. So the problem though is I'm traveling a lot of water. It's like, oh man, where's the next rest area? Like you gotta let things go.
I love it, bro. I try to fast twice a week, generally speaking. I find it very liberating, not to eat anything. I just find it very, very liberating.
Yeah, I do extended fast. Like you were joking around about keto and stuff. I mean, really, if we're going to plug keto, I'm sort of keto, right? Because I do 2 weeks ago before I even prepared for this. Every once in a while, I'll wake up and I'm feeling good. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to I don't have to break my fast, right? Breakfast. I love breakfast. I'm an eggs and bacon man. That's just me. But eggs and bacon or the breakfast or the break fast doesn't actually have to be in the morning. It could be at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just let it go.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. People say breakfast and they don't understand, dude, actually, if you break the word down, you're breaking your fast. That's what breakfast means.
See, again, simplicity. It's beautiful. I honestly think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, I knew that, but it's just a beautiful thing to hear.
Yeah, right. Because you know it, I know it, but until somebody says it, and it's like, oh yeah, I need to be reminding myself of that. It really is that easy. So I'm impressed you do, and obviously that's for religious reasons, man. They're doing the whole double a week thing, the fasting thing, or just your lifestyle now.
No, it is recommended from a religious point of view, but it is recommended for particularly these reasons, really, or these are part of some of the reasons, particularly for health.
Yeah.
And for other reasons such as humility and things of that nature. But it's really practicing. It's really putting one into practice. You don't need that much food to survive and thrive. Frankly, I think as a society, a lot of us overconsume on everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lesson, a weekly kind of reminder, hey, you don't need that much to survive and thrive. So I think there's a lot of spiritual and physical benefits to fasting, actually.
Oh, I'm a huge proponent of it because, again, the only reason why I found fasting and detoxing is I didn't tell you this. So, but anybody who listens to this show knows this because that's who I am. But when I left the corporate world in 2009, I had just gone back to school on nights and weekends, finished my BS in marketing and psychology. And I was like, all right, well, now I already had a good resume, but now I have the degree to back it up because I was older. I decided to go back to school for that. And my buddies are all like, oh, what company are you going to go apply for? And I was like, actually, I took the next 2 years off. I went and got certified with the federal government, and I served as one of the elite hotshot wildland firefighters out west. So you're from Cali, so I know you guys know about wildfires in California. But I got to do that for 2 years. I was traveling all over the West, going to all the big ones because that's what hotshots do. And you got to live with 50 pounds of gear on your back. I'm hiking with a chainsaw, and you're doing this 16 hours a day. And now in that job, I was consuming probably 7,000 to 10,000 calories a day. It was just like the military because you're hiking in the mountains with all that gear on your back and you're, breaking fire breaks. So that was a complete shift for me. And then when the fire season would end, my body was all jacked up. I've got built up stress and physical and mental stress, right? The strain, adrenal fatigue, all these things, which, let's be real, you don't have to go do this. That's why I brought this up. I'm sure you can back this up. People drive themselves so hard in their business or or even in fitness, because I'm a CrossFitter. I see it with CrossFit athletes too. They drive themselves so hard. And if they're not fueling their body with water and the right nutrient density and the essentials of life, your body will start breaking down. Your mind starts breaking down. And I don't know if you could talk to this from that period when you were homeless, or if you could relate to this from obviously just being a hard driving business professional. I've seen it with business professionals.
You know, it's interesting going back to the theme of simplicity and talking about. It's amazing how much better your life can actually be just by drinking water.
It's that simple.
And everyone's looking for the magic solution, and they want to spend $1 million on a course to figure out the magic solution. But in reality, just the free water to solve. Honestly, it's actually a pretty profound statement about. I don't know if it's pretty. Some might say outlandish, or some people who might just be like absurd. But dare I say, you can solve the majority of your problems by actually being properly hydrated. And there's a lot of science to back me up on that, to be honest with you. Now,
there is plenty to back you up.
Yeah. Now, by the way, we talked about having to go use the restroom a lot.
Yeah.
Sitting, talk about entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, we're sitting a lot, bro. Like, I don't know about you, but unfortunately, I'm sitting a lot and on the computer a lot. And when you have to use sitting is just as bad as smoking. Like, your body is not meant like to be sitting all the time. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But that little exercise to go from even here to the bathroom, that whole little interaction, like, that's needed. And if I didn't hydrate, I wouldn't even have that in my body. Now, the brain, does not function optimally if it's not properly hydrated, meaning your decision-making is poor, meaning that you're not you're not operating at top level, which means you're not scaling as much as you could be. God bless, man. God is great, man. I was like, he's giving us like water, which is free and abundant. And that's really like the cure to so much. That's a primary reason I lost 50 pounds. It's a primary reason how I got rid of pretty much my allergies and asthma. It's a primary reason how I got my skin better. And my primary reason I got mental clarity. I mean, I actually haven't really thought about it as much as I'm thinking about it now, but God bless, man.
I'm glad we're getting you to think going to it.
God bless water. Cheers to water, man.
Well, I mean, here, hold on a second. So you're asking about if I sit or not, right? So I'm going to risk our bandwidth and turn my camera back on. So
nice. That's what I want.
I'm all about the standing desk, and I usually go through at least 2 or 3 bottles of water during the show. So it's, yeah.
I love it. I need to set that up, man. I need to set up the standing desk. We got a new office in Dallas. I don't like it at all. I feel like the walls are caving in on me. It's too small.
You need sunlight, my friend. Okay. I had a world famous neurologist and neurosurgeon on this show. He's the most downloaded episode I ever had. I had no idea he had this viral following. He's like, listen, I get it, Dave Asprey, and everybody loves the bulletproof coffee and the biohacking. He's like, listen, when you're ready to level up, he's like, I'm a mitohacker. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I hack the mitochondrial level of our cells. And I was like, damn, okay. And he said, the biggest way you want to hack is like I don't know if you noticed real quick, when I switched the camera back on, I had a pair of glasses on. So those were blue light blocking glasses because I have all these computer screens, and it's almost 9:00 p.m. here. So I don't want to impact my sleep. But he said, listen, water, his old slogan is water, light, and magnetism. Those are the 3 things essential for, a healthy cellular level of your body. You already talked about water, and you already talked about, actually, water is the primary component. But he said, if you're not getting enough daylight, he's like, man, get the windows open or go outside. Like, if you want to have a meeting, go take your employees outside and have a walking meeting. He's like, I guarantee you'll have a more productive meeting. And that's just some of the things he talks about. It's pretty powerful stuff. So
I love it. No, I love it. No. I understand that. But talk to me a little bit more about the mattress.
Yeah, so basically in his world, he talks about the balance of water, light, and magnetism are essential for the cellular health of our body, the mitochondria of our bodies. He purposely moved down to Louisiana to be closer to the equator because they have a stronger concentration of the healthy UV light that we need from the sun. He actually said most people, because we're sitting in a car all day, and then or in the morning and the night, he's like, when you drive in the morning, the average 9 to 5 employee, right? They'll drive in barely after sunrise, and then they go sit in an office in a building all day. And then by the time they drive home, it's like sunset. So they're missing the most important period of sunlight, during the day.
Gotta get that vitamin D, man.
Yeah. But there's all kinds of other stuff on the magnetism. Actually, if you ever want to check him out, dude, the guy, he's too smart for his own good, though, because sometimes he comes across too smart and too scientific because he's that intelligent. But his site is his name. It's Jack Kruse with a K, jackkruse.com. Guy is viral online, man. But he talks about, again, just water, light, magnetism, healthy mitochondria. Again, he talks about, the people don't realize that the melatonin is what you need for healthy sleep. And a lot of that is happening from behind the eye. But if you're bombarding your eyes, especially before bed, with like iPad screens, iPhones, and everything else, that's impacting your body. You're basically telling your eyes and your brain that it's daytime. And that's why a lot of people are having sleeping issues and not hitting their full deep REM cycle and all these other things. So not to geek out on it.
I know, man. Like I got my own little private one-on-one coaching crew. I call them the 7-Figure Society. So like I got them all on Voxer, right? And when I have like a deep thought or something that benefits me, I just send them a quick message. Like I broadcast them a quick message. I'll tell you the one I told them this morning. And I challenged them. I said, listen, take your cell phone and everybody charges their phone every night, right?
Sure.
So take your cell phone and charge it in another room outside your bedroom. Like don't sleep in the same room as your cell phone.
I do it right now.
Yeah. Try it for 5 days. Tell me how you feel.
Well,
what happened is I just had an enhanced form of mental clarity.
You want to take it to another level?
Let's do it.
All right. Shut your Wi-Fi down.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. Like that's a lot of effort.
Well, if you can't go all the way, right? We were talking about being hardwired earlier. He said, when you go to sleep, do you need your Wi-Fi? And I was like, I thought about it. And I'm like, well, I guess not. I mean, unless I'm doing some kind of huge like file upload or something like that, but I can always schedule that at another time. So this happened months ago, man. I changed because my Wi-Fi is actually literally right next to my desk in the office here, even though I'm hardwired. So, once my fiance gets off the Apple TV or whatever, now we have a smart TV, but I basically put a power strip right under my desk and plugged just my routers in, like the main router and the Wi-Fi router. So right before bed, I just flipped the power switch.
Yeah, not a big deal.
I did this 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And here's what I do to test it. If I leave it on and I sleep, I got some messed up dreams, man. Only when I leave the routers on. When I turn the routers off, and it's been going on for 4 months, I've always been a deep sleeper anyway. I've been fine with that. But dude, I don't toss and turn. I don't have any weird dreams at all. If I wake up in the morning and I'm like, whoa, I think I had some weird dreams last night, I'll walk in the office and sure enough, I forgot to turn off the routers.
Now, question now. So 2 questions. Number 1, is your sleep quality better? Number 1. Number 2, now you're living in a house?
Yeah, house.
Okay. No, the reason I was going to say is like for people living in like condos or whatever.
It's harder. It's harder, right? So, I mean, and this is stuff that he talks about, by the way. And I've actually had a biologist and a sleep guru on the show as well, and they talked about all of this. They all agree that our bodies, our brains were never designed to handle the bombardment of these frequencies. Because here's the thing, you can't turn off the cell phone tower. So that's the other thing. Like we were never designed to get all these cell phone frequencies. Then we added Wi-Fi into our house because we had to have Wi-Fi, right? And he's like, all of these frequencies are just slamming your cells. So not just your brain, but your cells all over your body. And Jack Kruse talks about it, man. He's like, not a lot of people are ready for that level of. They think it's all hokey, but he literally has a client. They actually all the electrical outlets around the bedroom.
Right.
They put them onto a special breaker, a circuit breaker, and then installed an on-off switch like right outside the bedroom. So before that dude goes to sleep, he flips off all power around his room. So besides putting in blackout drapes and everything else and turning that room into a cave, which is something you should do for deep sleep, he has no frequencies around his bedroom now. There's even frequencies existing in electricity. This is good. This goes back to Jack Kruz's point on magnetism. There's all kinds of frequencies happening that are throwing off our natural way of cellular health. It's crazy stuff. And he has proof of all this stuff. It's all proven with science. It's wild. So
yeah, man. We're effed if we don't do anything. Like, there's just like all these components all around us that's trying to destroy us. Yeah. And by the way, for people who think it's kind of like kooky and stuff, I mean, like, there's a great book that you should kind of, and it's an interesting book because you don't really have to read it. You can actually kind of just flip through it in a way. It's everyone knows it in the book, but it's Tim Ferriss' Tools of Titans. And what's interesting is he went
the hacker himself.
Yeah, he went and interviewed all like the top producing people, like in every area, right? Entertainment, sports, science, every area, right? Top executives everywhere. And the commonalities between a lot of these top people was a lot of stuff we're talking about here, like what they do in this. They all have a special cooling pad, and they all, so you'll see that a lot of this kooky stuff they're practicing. And these are some of the top performers of the world.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So once you see that probably might, cool down the kooky talk,
Well, I had another woman on the show. Her name was Allie Oakes. She's from Canada. And you're talking about these cooling pads and these frequency pads. So her company designs those like high-end expensive like frequency pads that you're supposed to lay on. And Tony Robbins owns 3 of them.
Oh, really?
So it's like, okay, there you go. As you're hinting at these peak performers, right? So these are people like you and I. We're trying to not just hack the business world, our branding world, right? Business success. But dude, in the end, I tell you this all the time. This is why I love talking about health and business on this show and a healthy lifestyle, because I was like, dude, you can make all the money in the world, but if you're stuck in a hospital bed at 50, what the hell's the point? Right? I mean,
it's so frustrating because like on Facebook, I'll do a post like, and I don't really do this, I'm not like, and no disrespect like Ty Lopez, but I'm not like that guy with like the Ferrari and 10 girls, but like,
Ty is special, man.
Yeah. Like, but for example, like if there's a reason, like I show, for a purpose, like I might show you, like I bought this car and there might be like a lesson behind that, right? Like that sort of post will get like a ton of engagement. But then when I talk about health, right, it's like a far less engagement. And I'm like, dude, I understand this is like a little less sexy. Like when I talk to you about like how I'm trying to like perform at a higher level.
Yeah.
But to get to the sexy, which is what everyone wants, right? The mansions, the cars, the girls, whatever the hell they want. To get to that, like you got to go through the unsexy, man.
Exactly. I've always put my health first.
Yeah, right on, man. I think you got a great podcast here, man. I think you got a great message. I think you're doing good work, man. I think it's an honor to be on the show.
Well, I appreciate it. It's an honor getting you on here, man, because, I mean, once I found out about you, I was like, oh, man, he is perfect for this show because – and I knew we'd eventually get to this, right? And we're coming up to the top of the hour, so I'm going to respect your time. But and this is not the self-plug, but I have to share this because this just happened, and I'm actually really proud of this. And people say all the time that if you can't sell your own praise, like what the hell is the point? But number one, the Jack Kruz guy, this was one of his best-selling books. It's called Epi Paleo RX.
That's a great bestseller.
Yeah, so he's kicked ass. It's all about his neurosurgeon stuff and everything else. But I will tell you about hustle. I'm not a writer. So literally, I was at a VIP launch party last night for this magazine. It's called Network Magazine. Nice. And I got published in it. Nice. Because I discuss all about cleansing and detoxification and everything else. And they reached out to me like, oh, do you want to do a piece on healthy lifestyle? So I called it, a professionally fit lifestyle, because I'm sick and tired of business professionals claiming they can't put their health first, that they're overworked. And you're a perfect example. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit.
It is. I put it to this way. Let me be clear. Like I was homeless, but I was super unsuccessful for like a decade. And I never had any success, honestly, until I became healthy.
See?
Straight up.
And it's a classic quote, our health is our true wealth. And it'll also generate more wealth in the long run. So, well, listen, I want to respect your time. And this has been an amazing episode, man. I appreciate it. And listen, I hinted at it earlier, and I'm going to give you a proper goodbye when I unplug off the air here. But something I wanted to remind you here is that all of my guest co-hosts close out the show, right? So This is about you and your final words. I want to make sure if they forget anything that we discussed today, that at least on the closeout, hey man, this is Akbar. This is his message. This is why he's doing what he's doing. Make sure you follow him. So what kind of final words you have for us?
Man, bottom line is this, that again, we really have an opportunity as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, I feel, and small businesses are the backbones of society. And it's really up to us to make a change, and we can, and we are daily, which is why I think we need to keep leveling up, to perform higher, to generate more revenue, to really make the world a better place, which we are doing, and it's not just a dream. I'm actually been working on something for a year, and it's my own inner circle. And it is really a lot of what we talked about on this podcast, and it is your one-stop shop to launch, build, and scale yourself into 7 figures. And we do it holistically. It's 2 sides. One side is we give you all the technical stuff. We go over the copy, the websites, the funnels, the emails, the mindset, all that technical stuff. We got you covered. On the other side, guess what? This is useless without this. And this is your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your relationship health. So this inner circle is a one-stop shop to get you to 7 figures in a holistic manner, where we're going to have guests who are top renowned relationship coaches or neurosurgeons or nutritionists, because we got to fix each other from the inside out. And we are entrepreneurs, and we are a family. We got to stick together and help each other grow. And this is honestly, this is going to be my legacy, is my inner circle. I want it to be a global phenomenon, a family of entrepreneurs who really just every day get up and make the world a better place. So I invite everyone to join us. It's launching in a couple of weeks. You can go to my website, which is myname.com, akbarsheikhh.com/wait, WAIT. That's the wait list.
And I will share that while you're saying this. Keep going.
Yeah. That's I personally invite. It's designed with everyone. I mean, frankly, I charge a ton of money to work with me one-on-one. I mean, it's worth it. But this is priced and designed for everyone, because this is far more bigger than money. This is about social change. This is about making the world a better place through entrepreneurship, through really just injecting tremendous funds and values into your favorite charities, into your families, into your communities. I want to leave on one note that we talked about. I never found success until I got healthy. Another thing that has been a big secret for me, and again, back to simplicity, is I donate, and it's actually not enough, but I donate personally 10% of gross every month. And I find that the more you give, the more you get. Now, pick your favorite charity. It doesn't matter. You want to save a human, whatever you want to do, it's fine. If you can't afford to give, then give your time. If you don't have any time, then you call your mom, make her smile, because that's the same thing. But I would be remiss. I have to. It's my responsibility, I feel, to spread this message that the more you give, the more you get. I'm the living example of that, and that's what I want to leave with. And it's really been an honor to be on the show, and I think it's a great concept, and I think that everyone should really implement what they've learning in here.
Well, I love your final words, sir. They're powerful. And actually, we're on the same page, because as of January 1st this year, thanks to attending Thrive, Make Money Matter, I've actually officially moved my business into that for-purpose business. So first quarter, I just need to figure it out. So for now, I've opened up a separate bank account. I have automatic transfers happening weekly, taking 1% of all gross income and dumping it into that account. And that is now I've ingrained that into Live the Fuel and Fuel Enterprises, is that everything I do going forward is for purpose. And eventually, I tell people this all the time, we're just at a different place in the timeline. I do want to get to the point where I'm comfortable enough to do the 10% or something even greater, right? But the point is this, like whether it's 1%, 5%, or 10%, or even 25%, now you have an excuse to drive harder and make more money, because that means that's more that's being given back. So I love it, man. We're on the same page.
Right on, man. Everything happens for a reason.
That's it. Well, listen, hang tight. I'm going to give you a proper goodbye. Let you get back to your life. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Akbar Sheikh, man. Check him out at akbarsheikh.com. Again, make sure you check out the Inner Circle at akbarsheikh.com/wait, WAIT. Again, like we always do, all of this content, his bio, his links, his social media, everything will be in the blog post for the episode like we always do. We always honor and help boost the marketing of our co-hosts. So ladies and gentlemen, that's another Live the Fuel episode. As I've always said before, keep living the fired up, epic life. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. And you're clear of the pod. I just let the video roll until we're done.
Nice. Yeah, that was great, man. I really enjoyed that. That was great.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you weathering the storm of wonderful Australian Wi-Fi.
It worked out well, actually. It was good. I think Facebook Lives are more challenging. I don't know if they eat up more bandwidth or what.
I think it does. Zoom does a good job. I mean, you had some choppiness here and there, but I was expecting a lot worse. And in the end, it's just a matter of, we just got to get the content out there. And from the video world too, you can't have things too polished. It can't be too perfect. So it just shows that we're not messing around and we want to get this content out to the masses. So I don't care how we got to do it. So.
Right on.
Well, anyway, so if there's an updated bio that you guys are going to work on, since I've got like in the next week or two here, make sure you have your guy shoot me an email back and just get me whatever you want to make sure that is going to be in the blog post. Cause I already have your URLs and stuff. So
I'll fix that up. Yeah. It's out. It's very outdated. I have to go back to my website and see everything. I haven't really looked at it much.
You're too busy growing companies and helping other people grow their companies. It's understandable. So somebody's got to do it sooner or later. All right, sir. Well, again, I want to make sure you get back to your personal time. Thank you for making all this time to my audience. And like I said, I will be emailing you guys, letting you know when it goes live. And if it doesn't fit your blast schedule, don't worry, because I blast it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn. So everything gets out there.
Awesome, man. How's the show going, by the way?
It just hit a year old in September. So I've got 100. I do 2 a week though. So I've got over 140 shows up online. So
wow, that's awesome.
So actually I'll close out with, is there anybody you're looking to get more connected with for the Inner Circle, people you're targeting? Because thanks to having over 140 co-hosts, just that Inner Circle alone, I'm now getting all kinds of past co-hosts getting cross-connected and networked together, whether they have podcasts or not. Or just, hey, I just want to keep people in the back of my mind for you as well.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very happy and open to doing JVs with anybody for my Inner Circle. Another thing I'd love to do is get some. I'm not connected in the world of getting speaking engagements. I just did my first one. I'm pretty new to the scene.
Same here. I did 3 this year, my first time. So I mean, I've done corporate training and speaking before, but I never did paid speaking. So I did 2 volunteer events to help for charity, and then I did an actual paid engagement this year.
Nice. Yeah. So I've never done a paid one. The one I just did with Cameron Harrington wasn't paid. That was my first one. And then I did another one. It was small. It was a small mastermind at a little mansion in Dallas. But I would love to do some speaking engagements. I think I would really, really love to do that.
Well, I like your message, and maybe we can get you on the Thrive stage because you're perfect for it. Your story is powerful, man. Like it could rock the stage. So I will definitely be one of your cheerleaders to help with that little word of mouth negotiation. Actually, I'll make a note here for myself that when we air your show, I'm in the Thrive Make Money Matter event community. So like once people buy a ticket, they get added to that Facebook group. And then they want people to be sharing stories and best practices. So I've been in there for, like I said, over 2 years now. So whenever I meet a great speaker or a potential good speaker, I plug him in there. Like I recommended Brian Smith. He's been on the show. He's the original founder of UGG Boots.
Oh yeah.
So he's been building a speaking career ever since he sold UGG off years ago. Right. So he's just like you, but just further on the timeline.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I love a plug-in. I really appreciate that. Anything I could do for you as well, let me know.
Hey, man, I just appreciate it. I'll check out the Inner Circle, though, too, man. There's just so many Inner Circles I now have access to, so I'm just trying to find a new one for 2018. So any last little tips? Because, like, the video people will get what I get to learn. Like, is there any last-minute tips for why we should check out your Inner Circle, then?
Honestly, it's just really exactly what I said. It's really just your one-stop shop for everything you need. I mean, you basically need 3 things to get the 7 figures, right? You need an awesome funnel, you need great traffic, and you need the right mindset. So we really cover all of that. And then as well as optimizing you as a human being, we're going to be covering that too. So it's really like there's a lot of noise out there. So
Yeah.
this is really like your one-stop shop. All the resources and support you need to get to 7 figures is going to be in this inner circle.
Okay. And it's not launched yet?
Couple of weeks.
Okay. So right now, if I put my stuff in here, I'll just be on the email list, and then we'll find out, like, obviously once it's launched, what is there different price levels or stuff like that, or?
Honestly, bro, it's just $297 a month. That's all it is. It's meant for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I'm going to put myself on the list right now. So.
Oh, nice. Appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, I take action. So.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
Nice.
All right, we've taken enough of your time. Get back to your personal needs and obviously and your passion. I'll just say that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. God
all right.
bless.
We'll catch up soon. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.